I'm going to tell you about this thing behind me. It was really helpful when I had a smaller flock. It's a little bit helpful now, but not as much for what I originally made it. It was replaced by that. So let's check it out. Start with this. It's an old jet ski trailer that was on the property when I got here. So I took off the mounts. I did have to replace one of the wheel hubs. Probably that one looks new. Yeah, see, that one's still rusty. But the other one was rusted solid, so I had to replace it. And I had to buy some new brackets. Let's see. I had to buy some brackets to be able to mount that on there. But it worked pretty good. I just made it work. I used some of the hardware that was already on there from where you mount the jet skis. A lot of this wood was found in dumpsters or trash piles. When I pick up that kind of wood, I try to get pressure treated. I did buy all this decking so it'd be more uniform. I ended up having to add this ridge here so that the barrel wouldn't slide around. But I didn't have water around in my fields when I first started, so I needed a way to get water to them and rotate them. I made this barrel. On the inside of here is pokes through and screws into this piece of PVC, and then I have rubber on both sides. I have this so I could turn it off. Ran a hose, made this. This is all from scrap I had laying around the house, by the way. I did have to order this, so then they bump that. They figure it out real quick. Sometimes I prime it a little with water and they will come over here and bump that and figure out that water comes out. Well, I only had a couple. I had a little trough here. I had a deer feeder on here, and I'd fill the bucket up and the deer feeder would shoot down in here. I had it set up so it would only shoot into the pipe instead of spreading all around everywhere. It'd shoot in the pipe and then hit that and fill up the trough. The tin I pulled off of the old barn. That's why it's got holes in it already, and the roof does not look good because it all had an overhang at one point, but during one of the hurricanes broke it all right here. Now this probably cost me more than the rest of the whole trailer. This was to add shade, and this was cheaper than building a whole shade structure, and I could move it around. So this goes like normally on an RV, I think, but I got it cheap on Amazon for about 150 bucks, and it unscrews out. It's hard to do with one hand, that's why it's not going out, but it unscrews out, gives them a little more shade. And the only reason I really did that is because for part of the Department of Agriculture payback program I was in, they assigned shade to one of the places, and they wanted me to build this giant contraption out of steel, which would have been cool to pull with the tractor around each field, but it was like the quality steel pipe they wanted it made out of was like $8 or $10 a foot, and it would cost me like 10,000 bucks to build this thing. So I asked them, I said, it's a financial hardship to do this part of the grant. Can I meet the shade structure another way? And I was able to kind of amend the deal we had. But as you can see, this pasture here has shade because it has some trees in it. It's actually that one that has no trees in it at all. So sometimes during the summer, there's zero shade in that one. I just tend to skip putting them in that one if it's too hot. In the winter, it's not that big a deal because the sun is lower, and then there'll be shade along the property line on the backside. But in the summer, the sun's too high, there's no shade there. Late in the day, I get shade here. So I thought I'd show this little water setup. It was really handy since I had the trailer, had the barrel, had the pipe, had a lot of the wood, had the tin. Got the deer feeder for like 20 bucks at Tractor Supply. It was marked down because it was missing a part that I didn't need, because the way I modified it was fine. I could put it back on here. It just clips on that part right there. And then when I wanted to move it, just lifted it up, put it on the truck, and moved it where I needed to. So the things I had to buy, the decking boards, and that was mostly because I didn't want to use plywood. I thought that would rot quicker, so I got these pressure treated deck boards. Most everything else, oh, the wheel hub I had to buy, and some hardware here and there. So total cost, maybe, even if I'm throwing out high, counting that, probably 300 bucks total. I would pull it near the barn and fill this up. And at that time, we only had like under 5 sheep. It would last a couple weeks. And by that time, it would be eaten down all around them, and I can move it. All right, well, I got things to do.